Hello everyone, Dom here from the MethoGrid team, and in this latest short recording, I'm just going to give an overview as to the latest update released to our project and program management methodology, which, if you don't know, is a free resource available on the MethoGrid store and available to all users of the MethoGrid solution. So just before we dive into the new theme, which is the governance theme we've just added, just a little bit of context. You may have heard this in the previous blog, but just to situate the overall methodology. So fundamentally, it's a simple four-stage approach, which is very aligned to Prince 2 and managing successful programs, which are certainly very established UK PPM sort of standards. So certainly aligned to those, best practice methodologies. And within the four-stage construct, we have a number of themes that are clearly germane to PPM. So the one I'm going to cover today, governance, but also as we build this out in the future, you'll see we're going to be bringing more detail around benefits management delivery, standard PPM control, aspects of reporting, cost and resource management, stakeholder management, risk and issue management, and finally quality management. And this sort of, you'll see the legend here, which talks about, what aspects are mandated for different levels, and we've just got a simple low, medium and high allocation of essentially project program risk complexity, and we've then suggested a level of mandated compliance that's contingent on those attributes. And I would just make a point here that the design principle is essentially, this is not about being a heavy-handed, bureaucratic, sort of linear process. Rather, it's a deep toolbox we're building out that practitioners can draw out from as relevant to their delivery challenge. And what we'd always encourage is that the level of mandated compliance is almost as low as possible, and you rely really on the professionalism of practitioners to sort of draw out additional resource as relevant. So again, just to add, this is all completely clearly configurable to your own organisation. This is just an illustrative starting suggestion. And to that point as well, just to remind everybody that, as you use this to potentially adapt and configure to your own organisational standard, you can always at any point as well clone your master to create a specific delivery instance that can be used to actually manage and control QA a specific project or program. So just to remind everybody that is quite a common use case for MethoGrid. Okay, but jumping in then to this specific theme around governance, clearly right at the centre of what makes projects and program delivery successful. Conversely, where many go wrong. And we talked really to two, I guess, sub-aspects of governance. One is the whole discipline and skill to using stages as control gates to certainly supervise the project or program, particularly in relation to its business case as you progress. And secondly, to the critical aspect of getting everybody's roles and responsibilities clearly understood, and that clarity communicated. So organising the organising structure for a project or program, and how that gets cascaded down to individual responsibilities. So if I take those both in turn, so the governance or the guidance around the approvals and gated review aspect is all included within this embedded document here. And you can see this is a rich sort of 20-page PDF that sort of gives an overview as to best practice in this regard, and critically gives guidance as to how boards at particular gates should be sort of supervising the onward progress of a project or program, or conversely stopping its onward progress. But a huge amount of rich guidance there as to how you should go about that. And then actually in this checklist element here, we've got a nice example of a checklist that you might want to populate for a specific project or program, and set out exactly what products are being required at specific gates, for that team to progress to the next stage. So again, a really simple checklist that you can populate there. And then for the aspect around roles and responsibilities, again, we've got a rich guidance document, some surrounding information, but the guidance PDF, talks to the standard roles and responsibilities that you would expect to see, and gives here a whole load of detail around specific terms of reference for individual roles within a project and program management sort of environment. And again, all tailorable, but gives a great starting point to defining what people should be doing in a PPM context. So rich guidance document around governance, and then finally a template that you might want to use to specify it for your specific project or program. And you'll see in this template, there's organizational diagrams that can be quickly configured, and again a whole load of terms of reference annex which you might want to then build upon for your own delivery. But it fundamentally gets you completely off and started in a really sound way with respect to that clarity that is so needed at the start. So that's the latest theme, governance. Hopefully you find that useful, and look out for future blogs, recordings that talk to future themes as we add them to the grid. Thanks.